All right, so we've talked about committed club from the gym side. Remember, a gym can set whether or not they want classes to contribute to their committed club or training days towards their committed club. They can also set the minimum threshold needed of either of those to earn committed club for a given month. This will be committed club from a member's perspective. There is a committed club section located on the app home screen. It's going to be below the app calendar at the top, and you'll see it right here. And this section will consist of a progress bar, total accumulated points towards committed club, as well as the committed club threshold set by the gym. So in this particular example right here, we've got 3 out of 10 towards committed club so far for the month of November. And you can see the progress bar there updated accordingly. And we also throw in the days left remaining in the month. And this will, this is meant to work sort of as a motivator just to let the member know how many more days they have left to try and achieve committed club at their gym. For this specific example, training days have been selected to be the item that contributes to a gym's committed club. So in order for this user to add more credit or get more credit towards committed club, for them to fill up their progress bar even more, they have to log a result to a unique day of the month. And that's what is considered a training day. Now keep in mind, if the gym has set it to classes for their committed club, the only way to earn credit towards committed club would be for you, the member, to check into class for the day. So with classes, class check-ins earn you credit towards committed club. With training days, logged results to unique days of the month earn credit towards committed club. So again, this specific example here is this gym is set to training days. So we are going to log a new result here to November the 7th. You can see I've already got 3 days logged on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this month, which is where the 3 out of 10 is coming from. So let's go ahead and log another score for today, and we'll see what happens to that committed club feature, that count, and the progress bar. So we're going to come on down here. We're going to tap on the plus icon to log a score. We'll say exactly as written, log score. We'll enter in some random time here, 20 minutes. And we'll scroll on down and we'll save this result. Now this takes us to our workout session summary screen, but if we go back to the home screen, you'll notice now the committed club count has been updated to 4 out of 10, and that progress bar is just a little bit more filled up. If I do a pull down refresh, we should see that progress bar, yes, that progress bar animate each time, as well as the number count go up. Now there's also more to the committed club feature than just a progress bar and a count. If I tap anywhere on the committed club feature here, it'll actually take me to a separate screen. Now this we're calling the fitness journey screen. And the idea behind this screen is you get to see your progress towards committed club for the month. So in this case, you can see here we've got 4 training days. Also on the dots below it, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 black dots representing the training days, those 4 training days for the month of November. Now this is important. While those dots look like a calendar, it's not actually a calendar. There is a dot for each day of the month. So there are 30 days in November, so there are 30 dots there. And the way that you can kind of look at this is the third, fourth, fifth dots are black. And so that means I earned a training day on November 3rd, November 4th, November 5th. That sixth one is not black, but the seventh one is. So that seventh dot represents November 7th. So as you continue to accumulate training days or classes, if your gym utilizes the class schedule and check-ins, these dots here on this screen will start to fill up. And it will represent either your training days for the month or your class check-ins for the month. Now, also inside of those dots, if you set some kind of new PR, a lifting PR, a workout PR, you'll get the little white lightning bolt icon inside of the dot itself. All right. And then along the right side of the image here, you get some stats as well. And the idea behind these stats is we want to show the btwb user, the gym member, all of the cool things, all of the cool numbers they've accumulated this month while on their way to Committed Club. So I've got 4 total training days represented by the 4 black dots below it. And then on the right-hand side, I've got 4 workouts logged, 7 unique movements performed in those 4 workouts. And then I've got total accumulated volume of repetitions, weight, and distance for those 4 workouts from those 7 unique movements. So as I continue to log more and more training days while on my way to Committed Club status, all of those numbers are going to update in real time. Now there is an additional option down at the bottom called Movement Milestones. This is also going to keep track of any of the new movement achievements earned. So for the given month. So we're looking at November here, and what you can see is I've earned the 250 rep burpee movement achievement. I've also earned the 300 rep dumbbell snatch movement achievement. Those names down there are going to be truncated if they get a little too long. And then I've also earned the 200 rep snatch movement achievement. So again, just another way of showing you everything that you've earned and accomplished during this month, whether you achieve Committed Club status or not. So it'll be a good analysis screen for you to come to every now and then just to see how you've been doing. Okay, now these are actually images also. So what you'll notice is you can scroll to the right, and when you do that, you're going to get a transparent version of the image. So here is the standard image. Then we've got the transparent version of the image. All right. And the idea with both of these is that you can tap on the save to camera roll at the bottom to save this image. And when you do that, that makes it very, very easy for you to then go grab that image and maybe share it to some sort of social media platform, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But these are easily shareable images that our members can put out there in the world to kind of say, hey, this is all the cool stuff I've been doing this month. These are all the cool wins and achievements I've earned. And then we've also got at the top of each of these as well, the gym name. So this is kind of a way for you to rep your box also. Now there are 4 different versions of this image. So here's the second version of the image. They're all slightly different, and they all come with a standard version and a transparent version. So this is the second version. We're calling this the personal records image. And the reason for that is we show you a personal records count there, but also listed below that would be each and every personal record you accomplished, again, during the month that you're looking at. So in this case, there's 1 personal record, and it looks like that was earned on 2159 thrusters and pull-ups. but that list will show you both lifting PRs. So maybe you set a new back squat 5RM lifting PR, that'll get listed there, as well as any workout PRs that you set. You can see the calendar is very simplified. In this version, it's minimal, and we show streaks as one big sort of black strip across multiple days there. That represents those 3 days, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, that a result was logged to btwb. And then down below, also on this image, I believe on every image, but on this image too, as you can see here, are movement milestones earned for November. And so as we continue on, you'll see the transparent image. Then we get to the third image. Again, just a different way of kind of organizing the data here. You've got all of the same stats: training days, workouts, movements, repetitions, weight, and distance, and then the milestones at the bottom. But this is kind of a more compact, skinny image. And then there's the transparent version. And as we get to, I think this is the last one, yes. Again, just another way of displaying all of the same data into a different styled image. And you've got standard and transparent. And like I mentioned previously, you can always tap the Save to Camera Roll button at the bottom, and that'll save that image to your camera roll, which again should make sharing these to social media really easy. Now, at the top of this fitness journey screen, you'll also see 3 different icons. The checkmark icon at the top, when tapped, should reveal a little Committed Club settings slide up screen. All this does is let you know what the threshold is, or what the threshold has been set, what the threshold is from your gym. Okay, whatever threshold they've set, that's what you're going to show here. In this example, this gym has set a threshold of 12 or more training days, but if that number was ever updated on the gym side, maybe to 12 or 15, whatever it might be, that update would be reflected here on this settings slide-up modal. We also have a calendar option. So when you tap on that icon, this allows you to actually change the date. We'll always default to the current month. So in this case, November 2025 is the current month. However, there's nothing keeping you from going back and visiting prior months or even prior years. So if I switch to October, for example, and I hit apply, that's going to recalculate everything for me. Now, I was on this final image, so it keeps me on this final image, but let's go all the way back to the first image. And here's what that month looked like. So 11 total training days. You can see the dots strewn about there on the calendar looking dot design. You can see 3 different PRs on 3 of those different training days, represented by the white lightning bolt again. And then along the side there, you've got your 12 total unique workouts, 17 unique movements, and then all of the repetitions, weight, and distance accumulated when doing those. All right, and of course the movement milestones option at the bottom. All right, now the other cool thing shown in this image is the committed badge at the top right. So if and when a member reaches that minimum threshold set by the gym, they'll get a badge. And this is, again, when you save this image to camera roll, by tapping the button at the bottom, that'll be displayed on that image whenever you share it to social media. So this will be a cool way of letting everybody know, hey, I earned Committed Club for this month, and you're going to wear that badge loud and proud and kind of put it out there for the world to see. All right, so you can go back in months as shown here, but you can always go back in years as well if you've got enough data going back that far. Then there's the last icon in the top right hand corner, and this is going to be your gym leaderboard icon. Now, this icon might not always be there, and that's because gym admins have a setting on the back end to either show or hide the committed club leaderboard. So it's completely up to the gym whether or not they want members to be able to view this. In this case, the gym leaderboard, the gym committed club leaderboard, has been toggled on, and so I'm able to tap into it and check it out. So let's do that. All right, and when you come to the gym leaderboard, what you see are 4 different groups set up. All right, so at the very top there, you've got committed club. Then the next group is on the bubble. The third group is climbing. And then the fourth group is just kind of everyone else. All right, and the way that these groups work is throughout the month, as people earn credit towards the gym's committed club, they'll start to kind of work their way up into each of these groups. Now, it's still early in November in this case, in this specific example, which is why you see only Bob Jonesy here in the climbing group and everybody else down below. But as this month goes on and people continue to log results or check into class for those all-in-one gyms, they'll slowly start to move up the leaderboard. Now, the other thing worth mentioning here are the thresholds. So for the committed club at the top here, you can see there's 0 people in it. That's what the count inside of the little badge means. But off to the right-hand side, you can see the threshold, the 10 or more. This is what your gym has set as the threshold. So you'll need at least 10 training days or class check-ins to make it into this group. Each of the other categories, their thresholds are determined by whatever that committed club threshold is. So in this example, 10 has been set as the committed club threshold. If you subtract 3, that's where you get 7. So that's always going to be the lower end of the on the bubble threshold. And then the high end of the on the bubble threshold will just be 1 less than the committed club. And if you jump down to climbing, we do the same thing, except we take the committed club threshold and we subtract 6. So 10 minus 6 in this case is 4. And then the higher end is just going to be 1 less than the low end threshold for the on the bubble category. And that's where we get 4 to 6. The category at the bottom is just going to be whatever your minimum threshold is for the climbing category minus 1. So again, in this case, 3 or less. So you can always come to this screen here just to kind of see how people are doing at the gym. It'll be an easy way to kind of monitor progress by some of your gym buddies and friends, and maybe encourage them to try and get into some of these other groups. But it's also just a great way to see how you're kind of stacking up with other people at the gym. A little bit of motivation to try and stay consistent and try to get in to class. The other thing that you can do here is you can go back in time. So again, we're looking at November 2025, but if I tap this back button here, it'll switch over to previous months. So let's switch over to a different gym to show you what a fully fleshed out gym committed club leaderboard looks like. So for this particular gym in October of 2025, you can see they had 50 committed club members, and everybody here is listed out with their counts. And as I continue to scroll on down, sometimes if the count or if the group has more than 50 people, you can click on that to expand to see even more people. And then you get to some of the other bubbles, or the other container, or the other groups here rather. On the bubble has 22 people in it, and this specific gym on the bubble threshold is from 9 to 11. And as we continue to scroll on down, climbing has 21 people, and then everybody else at the bottom with 5 or less. So you can always go back in time to kind of revisit what those committed club leaderboards look like once they're all done. And that's everything for the Committed Club feature from a user standpoint, a gym member standpoint. We'll have more awesome updates to come later.